Thousands of visitors from all states and overseas have visited 263 beef cattle studs during Beef Week in the nation's southeast.
Been in the area all my life, 57 years, haven't moved too far. The property varies from red loam soil to a granite country. Most of the property is a granite-based country. Plenty of high rainfall, plenty of water, and find it very suitable to the Hereford cattle. Yeah, Hereford's the only breed I got at the moment. Not a big herd, so I'm just concentrating on improving the Hereford genetics that I've got rather than diversifying to others. So my aim is just to improve what I got and go from there. They're very diversible. Their temperament's good. Their doing ability, ease of calving, generally good, diversible cattle to handle. British breed cattle can be crossed with most European cattle, and which we're finding everywhere. And yeah, just found that the Herefords are fairly adaptable to most things.
What are you aiming for?
I mainly work on the local domestic market and breed moderate frame, quick maturing type cattle to sort of suit the local market. I find that the best and the most consistent. Over the last couple of years there's been Herefords have made a fair comeback back into the, they used to be on top, and then they sort of, the Angus cattle took over, and now the wheels are changing a bit, because the Hereford cattle have certainly adapted to change and breeding a type that's suitable for the domestic market and export market as well. So.
Martris Limousin Stud was established in 1988. Rosemont Farm is 325 hectares just north of Albury on the Olympic Highway. We run the Limousin Stud in conjunction with the Charmac Merino Stud, and we've been focusing on animals that are very commercially orientated towards the Australian beef industry's commercial needs, and polled cattle, etc. Features which we feel are important to the commercial person who will in turn buy stock from us as a seed stock producer. Limousin breed is a breed that is effectively what we call low fat. It's a European breed that brings in a genetic opportunity for people to cross with traditional British and Bos Indicus type breeds and genetically trim the carcass of progeny they produce. So it enables people to produce a calf that meets very good carcass specs with efficiencies associated with not producing quite so much fat in the carcass. Limousin has been building quietly for the last 15 years and commercially is having a lot of success with people making good money out of using the breed in the industry, and I believe it's on the second wave, which will be a very large long-term wave, and so Limousin will become a big player in the beef industry in Australia in the future and cement its place. The Limousin is primarily involved with producing stock for the domestic market, which is your short term. So from that point of view, a lot of the interest comes from people who want to be able to breed stock and kill them within 12 months. So it's not so much your feedlot and beyond, it's more about an animal that can be produced to a killable age of prime quality and killed young.
Yeah, Tony, we've had this place for about 30 years and it's 500 acres, fairly handy to Albury, and we run straight beef cattle. We've run beef cattle all that time. Earlier days we had sheep, but now we're simply concentrating on two primary breeds of cattle. Those breeds are the red poll breed and the shorthorn breed. We've calved about 150 red polls a year and about 30 shorthorn. Grew up with red poll, so that made it easy, but I've been around red polls for, I suppose, 50 years. But beyond that, I really think they're a tremendously good breed of cattle. I think they're underrated. I think they're good because they're so economically efficient in producing a top steer or heifer, and they produce a better bottom line. I think the future for the breed is probably more in crossbreeding than it is in pure breeding, because it can add to a lot of other breeds, and you get your hybrid vigour and everything else. But we can add milk to other breeds, you know, good temperament, good structure, good marbling. So it's a breed which can really complement a lot of breeds, and we're doing that in crossing the red poll with a shorthorn too. Right. We aim for the Korean type market, so we aim to sell steers into feedlots at 400 to 450 kgs, and we get, you know, we get a good premium for that market, and we're able to turn the steers off fairly quickly. Yep. Beefweek's successful because it allows producers to focus all of their efforts in terms of their marketing efforts in one day. And so you're open for one day and you get, you know, 20, 30 or 40 people along who are genuine, and they want to have a look at your cattle and ask you questions, and we can really concentrate in that in one day.
Our property, Spring Valley, is located 6 kilometres south of Holbrook. It's about 3,500 acres, or about 1,400 hectares. On the property we have around about 650 breeding cows joined. They're all Poll Hereford cattle, and we also have composite sheep flock where we join around about 3,000 ewes. The reason why we're in Poll Hereford cattle is really a story of history. The herd now is 63 years old. It was started by my grandfather. It was taken over in the early 70s by my father Richard, and now since the 90s that I've taken over the helm of Waroona Poll Hereford stud. So in that time we've gone from being a herd that was very much reliant on, in the 50s and 60s particularly, going to the show ring and leading and feeding. We gave that all up in the 70s and turned to performance recording, and now we're would be seen as one of the most disciplined and well recorded Hereford herds in Australia. We use Beef Week as really a viewing session of both the sale cattle, but also of the herd that stands behind those sale cattle, so we find that useful. We used to, many years ago, sell cattle on Beef Week, and found that that was a good way to do it, but we wanted to be able to give everyone a fairer chance at the cattle and promote the competition on those cattle.
We have an Angus cattle stud, Tabletop Angus. We sell about 100 Angus bulls per annum. A couple hundred PTIC females, and cast age cows. I've probably been since 1994, so that's a fair journey. Just the people coming onto your farm, the exposure for your farm as well as your livestock. It's been, yeah, we've generated a lot of business through it, so it's been very beneficial to us. I suppose people can come and see, they can see the whole herd. Like as an example here, we got a 2K track and we've got cattle on each side of the farm track, and then they come up to our cattle yards and they see another 100 or 200 animals on display, so they're seeing the whole enterprise as such, not just a couple of your better animals at the sale. They're getting an understanding of your whole management practices. We've had a good day. We've probably had at least 80 visitors through. We've had some sales moving forward, so it's probably been one of our most successful Beef Week field days. The people that we've got governing the breed and marketing the breed are doing a great job, so I can't see us going any further than staying at #1.